Yeah, man. Listen, man. I'm just hoping that the reception of this video is based off of it turns out to be what I intended for it to be. Because this is this is out of love. This is out of love, man. Because I know a lot of people don't know about this shit. And when they hear certain people talking about it, they think, man, these motherfuckers is crazy, man. I ain't sure. Fuck that shit. I'm going back to work. I mean, listen, man. I urge anybody that finds fault with anything that's been said in this video so far, look it up. Look it up, man. Anyway, let me get to it. A review of the countless United States Supreme Court decisions since 1938, landmark case Erie Railroad versus Tompkins, 304 U.S. 64 through 92, clearly establishes that only the state has constitutional rights, not the people. Look that up. Erie Railroad versus Tompkins, 304 U.S. 64 through 92. The people have been pledged to the bankruptcy of 1933. The federal law administered in and by the United States is the private commercial law of the creditors. That due to the bankruptcy, every citizen of the United States is pledged as an asset to support the bankruptcy, must work to pay the insurance premiums on the underwriting necessary to keep the bankrupt government in operation under Chapter 2 bankruptcy reorganization. That upon the declared bankruptcy, Americans could operate and function only through their corporate colored state created all capital letters name that has no access to sovereignty, substance, rights, and standing in law. I got a document over there that's dealing with status and standing at law and commerce. We'll get into that. But right now, let me go and get back to this. The Supreme Court also held general universal common law no longer is accessible and in operation in the federal courts based on the 1933 bankruptcy. That's very significant. Like I said, that's solid food. But I mean, that right there basically gives you how. Once you see right now, we on the public side of the ledger. Them all capital names. When you operating under that, status, you're on the public side of things. When you put your UCC1 in, and you do, the stuff that you need to do, I got some of it done. I'm waiting on, some individuals that have made the claim that they can assist with that, because it is what it is, man, but I've already walked in the door. You dig what I'm saying? I'm a part of the majority now. I'm no longer a minority. I know how to go in the courtroom and represent myself and shut it down. Not necessarily shut it down, but I mean, I know how to basically stand on my square and talk that talk. You get what I'm saying? But I'm more interested in, being able to discharge all of the debts that I've incurred under that corporate construct. And that's the part, I mean, like it's like, let's see, this is a quick sidebar. I'm gonna get right back to this, but the elder, Dr. Phil Valentine, spoke on this and how it's a sacrifice, man. See, I first came into this knowledge in 2010, 2011, when I first came into more science. And I was in the game at that time, and I exhausted a lot of paper compiling some of this information, but it came a time when I had to make a move and survive. I had to make the decision to leave the game alone, so I had to find a way to earn, and that's what led me down to the port. You get what I'm saying? And then I say about about a year, a little over a year ago, I got back into my studies. You see what I'm saying? And I accumulated a whole lot more information. I mean, I got some information. I got a library and a law library that I've compiled. But, at the end of the day, man, you have to have, I remember Dr. Phil Valentine stated that he was fortunate enough to have parents that allowed him to stay in his basement while he pursued this thing. My situation ain't set up like that, man. You dig what I'm saying? So I don't have, well, I'm still in the process of trying to create, a situation whereby I can dedicate my time and my energy into this thing 100% until I reach the destination that I'm striving to attain. But that's another story for another day. Back to it though. All right. Okay. The Supreme Court also held the general universal common law no longer is accessible. Okay, I read that part. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Oh yeah. I got it. That's where I need to go back at. The Supreme Court also held the general universal common law no longer is accessible and in operation in the federal courts based on the 1933 bankruptcy, which placed everything into the realm of private, colorable law, merchant. No, of private, colorable law merchant of the Federal Reserve creditors. To take this to a different level and not only explain why you pay taxes, he just said it too. They took it to the realm of private. See, we in the public side. You get to the private side, then that's accessible to you, and can't none of these courts fuck with you. That's why once you get your shit situated, you ain't got to go into court. You can just write a letter, make a special appearance based on that. You know what I mean? Because it changes your status and your jurisdiction. They can't fuck with you. Not like that. You dig? So, all right. To take this to a different level and not only explain why you pay taxes, but also why you do not own the house you live in, the car you drive, or owning anything else you think you bought and paid for, etc. The state government and its creditors own it all. If you think you own your home just because you believe you paid it using those Federal Reserve notes, just like everything else you possess by possession of government, simply stop paying your taxes, user fees, licenses, and see just how long the government and the creditors allow you to keep it before they come to take it away from you. Property taxes after you done paid your shit off. Yeah, man. How can all this really be? Why haven't you been told all of this before now? Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Every man is deemed required to know the law. Government expects you to know the law and holds you fully accountable for doing so. Ignoring these facts will not protect you. Never mind the fact that they never put it in the curriculum. And you got some parents that want to fight to keep the children in public school, as opposed to homeschooling programs where they got all this stuff included that the public schools don't. That's another thing. I ain't even gonna get into that right now neither. Is this gonna be long enough just for me reading this shit? All right. What I say? The majority of Americans have been given a public education to teach them only what the public, i.e., government creditors, want them to know. It is and always has been each individual's personal responsibility, duty, and obligation to learn and know the law. What this breaks down to is this. Back in 1933, when the United States went into bankruptcy because it could no longer pay its debts, it pledged the American people themselves without their consent as the asset to keep the government afloat and operating. I told you they enslave our energy. Hold on.